I feel like I have eye boogers. Probably do. Oh well. Whoa. I need to be careful swinging this bun. What up? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Mm, 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 mm. I hear two phrases all the time, like two little phrases that I hear, and they confuse me. The first phrase is, so you want your cake and eat it too, or you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yes, you can. If you tell me that it's my cake and then you tell me I can't eat it, then it's not my cake, or you need to leave the room so I can eat it. But you can have your cake and you can eat it too. I'm not gonna get no cake and give it to everybody else and I have no cake for myself. Like, that don't make no sense. So the second phrase is, I could care less. When you're telling someone you could care less, it's like you're trying to tell them that you don't care, but technically what you're telling them is that you do care, and that you can actually care less than what you do, which means there's an amount of care that you have for that person or the situation concerning that person or their situation. So when you say I could care less, you're pretty much saying I care and I can actually care less, but I actually care enough. So if you're going to say it, say I couldn't care less. That means you don't care, or your care is at a lower level, and because it's so low, you couldn't care any less. Or you could just straight up be like, I don't care. I'm also getting tired of seeing people using through wrong. There is through, THROUGH, which is through something, like I'm going through this, I'm walking through the door. Then there's THREW, which is through. She threw the ball. I cannot deal anymore. I mean, come on. I'm so sick of it. Or grateful. Okay, grateful is GR, like I am ungrateful, is not GREAT, it's GRATE, grateful, okay? Makes no sense. I hope y'all are having a great week. So far so good. I know it's been hot in some places. I hope y'all are drinking a whole bunch of water. I don't need y'all falling down and having heat stroke or whatever the case may be. Speaking of heat stroke, if I hear about another mom or another dad leaving their kid in the car, I'm gonna start slapping people. These innocent children are being left to die and to melt in cars. Their parents didn't want them anymore, or their parents forgot. How do you forget you have a child? As a mother, how do you forget that you ever gave birth to somebody? As a dad, you claim you forgot him in the car. The one little kid, he's 22 months. There's 22 months of having a child. You do not forget that you have a child because you just strapped him in maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago. If you don't want a child anymore, why do you feel like resorting to killing them is the answer? There are tons of adoption agencies, and there are tons of people out there that want children. There are foster homes. You know what I'm saying? There are churches. If you really don't want your child that bad, take them to the adoption agency. Knock on the door. Stick a bow on their shirt and be like, you know what? This is how I feel. The court system even allows you to sign over your parental rights so that your child is no longer considered yours and they can go be happy with someone else who actually will love and take care of them. All this leaving them in the car is absolutely ridiculous to me, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. It's horrific. It's absolutely just wretched. If you are like a parent and you feel weighed down by the responsibilities of a child or whatever the case may be, reach out to somebody. Reach out and get some help. For every parent that leaves their children in the car and that child dies or that child's sick, just put them in the jail. Put them in the cell in the back, lock the door, throw away the key, throw them some soup every once a week or whatever, and leave them back there. But I also have this thing where I feel like whatever crime you commit is the way you should be punished. That's just my look on life. So I feel like if you left your kid in the car, how about you go sit in that van over there and you just sit there. Just sit there. Just sit in there. I think they should lock them in the car and let them strap them in there with the seatbelt on and let them just sit there. Just sit there and think about your child. Think about the life they could have lived. Think about how wonderful that person could have been. Think about that child who could have been an astronaut, who could have been a scientist, who could have been a teacher, or who could have been just a free spirit that made the world a little bit better. Just go sit in that van, lock all the doors, and let us all just walk away. I got a text, a quote that somebody wanted me to talk about. They wanted to hear my perspective. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone, You have already forgotten your value. What do I think? Okay. I don't know. Who cares what people think? Stop trying to prove yourself to somebody. Stop trying to tell somebody how much you worth. Who cares? Psh, I don't care what you think. I know what I'm worth. Period. To me, it's saying if you're trying to prove who you are, prove how important you are, prove to that person that you're special enough for them, whether it's friends, family, or relationship, then you've already X'd out the true you. We feel like we have to prove who we are to someone else for this acceptance, to accept our own self. We feel like someone has to accept us for us to accept ourselves. You need to know your own worth. Tell yourself your own worth. Please pray for girl. I have a prayer request for a friend of mine. Her name is Tasha. I don't really like to put people's business out like in detail, but just pray for her body, pray for her health, pray for energy, pray for strength, pray for happiness. You never know what people are going through. I think I'm done. This bun is as big as my head, or maybe bigger. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.